Hi friends, Holly here with the South Texas Skillet, and I have had so many requests for this recipe, so today I'm finally going to show you how to make my homemade vanilla extract. All right, let's get to it. So this recipe is actually very simple, and it only requires 2 ingredients. The first ingredient is your vanilla beans. So these vanilla beans I get off of Amazon. I actually get them in packs of 50, and multiple packs come in the box. When you're buying your vanilla beans, you want to make sure you get the grade B vanilla beans, not the grade A. The grade B vanilla beans are a lot drier than the grade A ones. They're perfect for extracts. The grade A vanilla beans are used with cooking desserts and making ice cream and things like that. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna find your container that you wanna put your vanilla beans in. What I did before was use the bigger jars. I'll link these for you down below. I do like these jars to make my vanilla extract because it has an airtight seal and it's a clear bottle so I can see how dark the vanilla is getting. And these beans fit perfectly in this jar. But because I already have 2 different ones, I didn't want to make another big jar. So I thought what I could do is use these smaller jars that are the same. It's the flip top lid. They have the airtight seal, but they're a lot smaller, and I could give these away as gifts if I wanted to. Now the problem with these jars is the beans don't quite fit, so we're going to have to cut them in half, but that's okay. That's actually better for the extracting process. So what we'll do is we'll take some of these beans. I might not use all of them today. We'll see. I'm going to take about half of them. And you want to actually cut your beans lengthwise. This opens up the pods so that way the alcohol gets into the bean pods where all the seeds are. It's going to help it ferment and extract a lot faster. You don't have to cut it all the way through, just put a nice little slice down the middle of it. It is a little bit harder to cut these because they are the grade B beans and they're a lot drier. You can tell they're almost like cutting leather, but they do so well in this extract. So most recipes I have found calls for about 3 to 5 bean pods in each jar. I put a lot more than that in there. I did start with the minimum amount, and then I noticed that after a few months, my extract still smelled a lot like the alcohol, and it did not have a very strong vanilla scent. So we just would add more of the vanilla beans until I felt like it had more of that vanilla smell to it. And it resulted in some of the best vanilla extract I've ever had. All right, last one. Just be very careful when you're doing this so you don't cut yourself. Okay, so like I said, with our small jars today, we're going to have to cut these bean pods in half to get them to fit. But the more exposure that the inside of the bean pods have to the alcohol, the better it's going to be. So I'm going to use both of these jars. They were washed. You actually don't have to worry too much about sanitizing these jars because it is an alcohol. The alcohol is very strong, so that kind of sanitizes it itself. All right, so then all you want to do is take a funnel, put it in your jar, and you can choose from either vodka or bourbon. Either one works well. You do want to make sure that you don't get a top shelf vodka or bourbon. You want something that's going to be a little bit cheaper. In fact, the cheaper the better. You don't want the flavor of the alcohol to overpower the vanilla. All right, so all we're going to do is fill this jar up. You want to make sure you're covering the top of the vanilla beans with the alcohol. Okay. Then you'll close this, and all you do from here is put this in a nice dark cabinet. In the beginning, you're going to give it a nice shake just to get the alcohol moving around. I'm going to do the same thing with the bourbon. And again, this is not a very expensive bourbon. All right. Then we'll label it. I'm going to put these labels, they come with the jars. I'm going to put them on the bottle so I know which one is which. Right now it's easy to tell the bourbon from the vanilla, but as you can see with the older ones, the longer it sets, the harder it is to tell. So these should be ready in about 3 to 6 months. A lot of times we have them sitting for longer. These have been brewing or extracting for about 12 months and they are perfect. Once I get my big bottles done, sometimes I will give them away as gifts. So I pour them out into these little bitty amber color jars, and then I'll label it. These jars come with vanilla extract labels that you can put on it and some nice pretty twine that you can tie around it as well. And these make really good Christmas gifts. So with the vodka vanilla and the bourbon vanilla, there is a different flavor profile. The vodka one is more of your traditional extract that you will buy at the grocery store. The bourbon one just has a little bit of an extra depth to it, and it makes your desserts come out amazing. All right, so the vanilla beans, if you don't use all of them, I do have a food saver. We can vacuum seal them and keep using them at a later time. And the vanilla beans, remember to get the grade B, but you can also get different types of vanilla beans as well. You can get like Madagascar vanilla beans, Mexican vanilla beans. That's also going to change your flavor profile. When you go to use this, a lot of times you'll see me using it straight from this jar. Once this drops down to where it's below the vanilla beans, I'm going to just top it off with some more vodka or bourbon, whichever one I'm using. If I was going to give it as gifts and put it in one of these amber jars, I would filter it first. There are some seed pods in here, the little seeds from the vanilla beans. I don't mind it in my cooking, but some people don't want it in there. So you can run this through a filter before you give it away as a gift. All right, I hope you enjoyed that super simple recipe for vanilla extract. I would say go ahead and give it a try. It's very good. I do feel like in the long run, it ends up being a lot cheaper than buying the vanilla from the grocery store, especially if you're baking all the time. It does taste so much better than what you can buy in the grocery store, and I highly recommend trying this recipe out at least one time. And if you like this content and wanted to see more of it, go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe, and leave me a comment letting me know what else you would like to see.